Kathy Barber. I'm the author of The Black Woman's Guide to Breastfeeding, the definitive guide to nursing for African American mothers. I'm also the mom of two. I breastfed my first child for 2 years and my second child for about 17 or 18 months. Now, I want to give you 3 tips on how you can have a successful breastfeeding experience. Now, there are many things you can do. There are many bits of advice I'm sure you've heard from your girlfriends and from family members, but I'm going to give you 3 tips that I feel are extremely relevant and relatively simple for you to adopt during your breastfeeding experience that will make it successful and a great experience for you and your baby. First, read. Before the baby comes and during your breastfeeding experience, read as much as you can about breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is not always natural for everyone. It seems like some babies come out of the birth canal and they can latch onto the breast and everything's wonderful and there are birds chirping and the stars are singing and everything's great. However, for many women, it's not that easy and it's not always so simple. So read as much as you can in advance so that you can know some of the techniques of breastfeeding, such as how to latch on, how to position yourself and the baby, and what to do if any problems should come up. And so if you're reading in advance, you'll have some knowledge about what to expect during your breastfeeding experience. So that some things like leaking and what happens when you first um, try to use a breast pump, and so many different things you won't be surprised about. So read as much as you can, and when you do that, you can have some foundation to work from as you're learning how to breastfeed. And keep in mind, breastfeeding is a learning experience. So first, read as much as you can. Second, get support. This goes along with reading as much as you can. See, when you read all of this information, sometimes questions pop up and also fears because you're reading about something different and something that if this is your first child or your first breastfeeding experience, it all seems new and it may seem a little daunting and a little scary as well. So if you get support from other breastfeeding women, from a lactation consultant or breastfeeding peer counselor or even your doctor, this can actually help you to have a more successful and an easier transition into breastfeeding. When you go to breastfeeding support groups, you're surrounded by other women who are either where you are with breastfeeding or who have breastfed 1 or 2 other babies, and they can actually give you real life tips on how to make it through certain situations. And there's nothing like being around a group of women who understand exactly where you are in your life. So get support. You can get that support from perhaps your doctor. You can contact my organization, the African American Breastfeeding Alliance, and we have different support groups across the country. And there are other organizations as well that offer support groups that you may be interested in attending. So read the literature on breastfeeding, get support, and finally, make up your mind. Before your baby comes, decide that you're going to provide the best that you can for your baby. Breastfeeding is the best. It's the ultimate. To me, it's the only choice that you can provide for your baby, barring any major health situations. You should be able to successfully breastfeed your baby. And if you decide before the baby comes that no matter what, you'll keep trying, you'll get support, you'll keep reading, and you'll reach out to others, then your breastfeeding experience will be one that your baby will benefit from for his or her entire life, and you will as well. And so I wish you well with your breastfeeding experience, and we'll see you soon.